Judas says, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kisses Jesus. Jesus says, "Do what you came for, friend." Jesus' disciples ask him, "Lord, should we strike with our swords?" But then Peter cuts off the high priest's servant's ear. Jesus tells Peter, "Put your sword away." Jesus heals the servant's ear, and then the mob goes to grab Jesus. Then the disciples desert him. Jesus is brought before the religious leaders. They ask Jesus, "Are you the Messiah?" And Jesus says, "You've said so. But from now on, you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven." The high priest says, "He has spoken blasphemy." And the rest of them say, "He deserves to be destroyed." Peter followed the mob and is outside in the courtyard with the servants. While there, Peter keeps getting asked if he knows Jesus, and he keeps denying it. By the third time he's asked, he gets really mad and says, "I don't know the man." He remembers what Jesus told him earlier. "Before the rooster crows, you will deny you know me 3 times. He runs outside and cries while the mob takes Jesus away. In the morning, they bring Jesus before the Roman governor Pontius Pilate and tell him, "Jesus is a troublemaker who stirs up the people and claims to be the Christ, a king." Pilate says, "Deal with him yourselves." They say, "It is against the law for us to put anyone to death, and if you let him go, then you are no friend of Caesar." Pilate brings Jesus inside and asks, "What have you done? Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus says, "My kingdom is not of this world. I was born for this, and I have come into the world for this, to testify to the truth." Pilate says, "What is truth?" Pilate tells the mob, "I don't find anything wrong with this man. So for your Passover tradition, which prisoner should I set free? Should I release the rebel insurrectionist murderer Barabbas? Or Jesus the Christ?" The religious leaders persuaded the crowd, so the crowd yells, "Release Barabbas! Crucify Jesus!" Pilate washes his hands and says, "I am innocent of this man's fate. You are the ones responsible." He orders Barabbas to be released and orders that Jesus to be beaten and then put on a cross. So the soldiers whip, spit, hit, and mock him. The soldiers make Jesus carry his cross to a place called Golgotha, which means place of the skull. They arrive at Golgotha, and Jesus is put on the cross between 2 rebels. Jesus says, "Father, forgive them because they don't know what they are doing." The soldiers divided up Jesus' clothes and then cast lots to decide who will get his tunic. One of the criminals says, "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other rebel tells him, "We are getting what we deserve, but this man has done nothing wrong. Jesus, remember me when you are in your kingdom." Jesus tells him, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Darkness came over the land, and Jesus cried out, "Father, into your hands I entrust my spirit. It is finished." He gave out a loud cry, breathed his last breath, and gave up his spirit. At that moment, the temple curtain tore in 2 from top to bottom. Then the earth shakes, rocks split, and tombs break open. The centurion says, "Truly, this was the Son of God." The soldiers then make sure that Jesus has passed. Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea take Jesus' body and place it in a new tomb. The stone is rolled over the entrance of the tomb. Soldiers guard the outside. The story continues in part 3.